Hello, this is Elle. Today I'm going to be talking to you about transgender family acceptance. But before we start this video, remember at the end of the video to subscribe to my channel. Before I go any further, I'm going to read to you the definition from the dictionary for transgender. A transgender person is considered to be a person whose gender role or gender identity reflects inconsistently with the sex that was provided to them at birth. This video is a testimony from a transgender woman today. Transgender woman's family acceptance. This discussion is going to be about disrespect, respect, mental ability or mentality, and evolution. This is going to be a conversation with a charismatic, hilarious, jovial, and outgoing woman. The person I'm interviewing is a community activist. She has been doing this for many years. She is a very inspirational, motivational speaker as well. She is truly one of a kind. This is none other than Ms Fleeks.
Hello, everyone. Oh my God, I am Ms Fleeks. Thank you so much, Elle, for having me. I'm so excited to be here today to talking to you and your channel and just giving my opinion and my story. So thank you.
Well, thank you for coming. We're very excited to have you here. I'm very excited to hear your story so that we can start to put out the initial conversation. So thank you. One of the things that I wanted to get out first and foremost was when I talked to Ms. Fleeks before she agreed to come on my channel, was addressing her, and it wasn't in a bad manner. It was very positive, and I loved the introduction. For those of you who does foolery and do not commit to respecting these women, please, as Ms. Fleeks suggests, use the proper pronouns when you address them, such as she, her, and hers. And I loved it when she said that, because it is them transitioning into a woman. So let's try and do all we can to make them feel comfortable. I talked about Ms. Fleeks. Now, she came here today to tell to have a testimony and to tell her story. So in doing this conversation, we've developed a few questions, a Q&A, regarding those topics that I told you all in the beginning. And I'm just going to stick to the script so that I won't mess up this video. So here goes. Ms. Fleeks, can you tell me and those who are listening to this channel about your family getting on board with the start of your transition?
Well, Elle, I'm glad that you asked me that question. So initially, I wanted my transition to happen overnight. So literally one night, I went to sleep as one person, as my family knowing me as one person, and then the next day, I woke up as a whole, complete different person. And so with my transition, I wanted my family to accept me just as fast as I had transitioned overnight. I wanted them to accept me the next day as I accepted myself. And so I had to realize that it took growth and that they just weren't there and that it took time. Although I was there and I wanted to transition as I did, I had to realize that it takes people time to adapt to new things.
Yes, absolutely. So, did you feel disrespected by your family in your choice that you made?
Well, initially I felt as though I was, misunderstood, and only because of lack of education. So, in term, I can see where I felt kind of like, you know, disrespected or
Mhm.
unheard
Mhm.
because my family, didn't understand me and what a trans woman was and what transitioning meant and what it meant for me because they had never experienced anything like that before me. And so I guess
Right.
just lack of education and not knowing how to approach me or receive me as a trans woman because it was all new to them as it was for me. I could have misconstrued it as disrespect when in turn it was just a misunderstanding.
Wow. And oh wow. Even for me to listen, it seems like you're opening up even my ears. So I offer to you all who are listening is, if it takes you to talk to other people who are going through this, watch television shows. There are plenty of television shows out here, even if people are acting or if they are reality TV shows that are truly going through this transition. Watch to learn and grow. I mean, either you will find where you have to accept them or can't accept them, versus saying such harsh things like never, can't, won't. So just listen and watch with open ears. Remember, there are people too. So,
Right?
Ms
Great
Fleeks,
point.
you are a beautiful woman
Thank
looking
you.
at you. Oh my God, you can give me some beauty tips. I
Thank you.
love the way you
Yes.
look. Absolutely. I want to snap. But so
Yes.
another question, though, I mean, how do you feel like your mental capacity or mental ability has been in your transition?
Well, Elle, I really am a person that is not easily influenced by what others think about me. I'm not a person that's easily persuaded of other people's opinions about me. So I've always been a person that is, you know, just charismatic. I live out loud. I'm okay with
All
myself.
right,
I
all right.
accept myself. I love myself above all things. And so I really have always been a person that is accepting of me no matter what people say about me. I'm not easily
Good.
persuaded. I'm not easily influenced by people. So I was able to have a strong mental state because I protected my peace. And with protecting my peace, I
All
had to get
right.
away from people that didn't accept me or that didn't love me the way I wanted to be loved. And so that was what kept me mentally stable throughout my transition by just loving me wholeheartedly, being me, and accepting who I was and what it is that I wanted from my transition.
So, what can you offer to, just simple education, simple go throughs that you can offer people who are going, who, who, who are on the outside looking in and having to conform their thoughts to this subject matter?
What I will offer to them is, you know, if you're a person of trans experience going through this
Mm-hmm.
and it's new to you and it's new to your family, give your family time.
Mm,
Time heals all things, time corrects all things. And if they really genuinely love you through yourself being unapologetic and authentic, you will find that they will grow with you, but it takes time. Like I stated previously in the conversation, you can't rush your transition. You have to make it a point where everything is slow and you evolve. And
right,
as you
right.
evolve, you grow, and with growth comes acceptance and even more love. And so, if you're going through your transition, this is new to you, continue to accept yourself, continue to be patient with yourself as you continue to be patient with your family,
Mm-hmm.
and they will
Mm-hmm.
get there, but you can't rush everything,
Yes.
and you can't be so quick to be offended by everything because everything is not meant to be offensive. Like I said previously in the conversation, some things are just because of lack of conversation or lack of education, and people don't know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
grow with your family and give them time to understand you and to love you and to educate them on who you are. You are the best advocate. Self advocation is the best thing that I could have ever done, because I advocated for myself and I let people know how I wanted to be treated and how I wanted to be respected. People can only go by what you allow them to know and what you tell them. And if you don't tell them anything, and if you don't correct the errors, how would they ever know? So give them a chance to correct themselves, and give them a chance to educate themselves as you educate them as well.
Yes, and then I'm just gonna say this, and it makes me laugh. So really, what you're saying is, and tell me if I'm wrong, if in the beginning things kind of went sour, and if they circle the block and come, and if they come back, but with the understanding of wanting to be accepted and wanting to respect you and still be a part of you because they care about you as a person or family member, how is that accepted? How is that? I mean, is that what you're saying right now? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay.
At first, you don't know that your family is being disrespectful because it's new to them, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't know, and they don't really know about people of trans experience, or how to treat and how to handle a woman of trans experience. And so a lot of the times, we as trans people, because we are such a marginalized community, and we're so vulnerable, and we're so looked down upon by society, we think that everyone is out to get us, when in actuality they're not. Now, you do have some people that are just deliberately disrespectful and
Mm.
just will not accept us.
Wow.
But for those that do and want to learn, just be patient with them. Teach them all that you can. Let them know all that you want to let them know, in order to help them grow with you and educate with them, so that can understand that they're not trying to do it purposefully. They want to learn, but they just don't know how until you tell them.
Right. And just from what I was reading up on this subject matter, the statistics say that the transgender community is far smaller of the LGBT community out there. So remember, each one teach one, and let's all find a friend. Meeting, we can meet no strangers. Just remember, transgender women, transgender men, these are people too. Transgender again is, when a individual does not identify with the sex that was given to them at birth. But that doesn't mean that, we can't all live in the same world together. Those things that became a norm years ago does change. We all have a new norm and things that are in the future. It just requires wide eyes and more education. So, L, I'm sorry, Ms. Fleeks, tell us how you evolved from, your initial uh, uh, finding out or being, subjected to, different feelings, and how you came into being, how you came into finding out about what was going on with you.
Well, I think that I've evolved a great deal in my transition. Whereas, first, my thinking was that everyone wanted to be offensive and everyone wanted to be disrespectful, because I was this woman, and that I was a trans woman, and feminine presenting, and I was still being referenced as male pronouns. And so, with that, I really didn't understand. I was always so mad and just offended, and I wanted to go off, and I wanted to be into it with people, because I thought that they were disrespecting me, and that I was being disrespected intentionally. But that was then. And so now I've grown so much, so to the point where I can understand that it was because of lack of education, and I didn't tell them, so they didn't know. So now I'm a lot more patient, And I'm a lot more understanding of meeting them where they are because they don't
Yes,
know.
yes.
And when they do know, it takes time to get used to it and adapt to me being a complete different person. And now I'm looking at it from their perspective of being, understanding that, this is different for them.
Yes,
This is new for them just as well as it's new for me. And so
absolutely.
they have to get there. My family has to get there just as well as I got there, but they're going to get there at a different time than I have. And then I had to understand that they're not being disrespectful, they're
Mm-hmm.
not being dismissive to my feelings. It's just that they're so accustomed to something. And when you're so accustomed to something, you have to learn how to be able to be okay and do things differently, like breaking the
That's that
cycle.
norm. That's
Right,
that
yes.
norm,
Yes.
refusing to change. Right, absolutely. So I heard you say a little bit about your family, you know, is evolving. Tell us a little bit about how your family evolved in this.
Well, my family evolved from, not calling me, masculine pronouns so much and not, referring to me as he or him. And, I'm not saying that they don't have slip ups because, hey, like I say, it takes some getting used to. But now, they call me by my preferred
Mm-hmm.
pronouns, they call me by my preferred name, and they allow me to be expressive of my feelings. They allow me to educate them as they are doing now in this video, and they
Yes.
allow me to express myself and give you all a taste and a testimony of my community and how things are done and how to better educate someone in your family so that they can know in the future how to handle a person of trans experience and how to better care for them. So my family has been very understanding and accepting and very loving and just loving me through this whole ordeal and caring about how I feel and what my preferences are and what I want to be called and how I
Yes.
want to be seen and
Yes.
how I want to be viewed. And
Yes.
I
Mm-hmm.
can't ask for anything better than that,
Yes.
for them trying.
Well, there is a social and a cultural type of development that has to happen, with you and for those like you and those people who are out there trying to grow from this norm. And when let's say when people do slip and call you by something that's masculine, what is are you accepting of that? Are you forgiving of that? I mean, how does that affect you?
At first, when I was a little bit, well, a lot immature in my transition, it
Yes.
offended me. I would get angry, I would get upset, and I would automatically like correct them, and I would
Mm-hmm.
automatically like be offensive and take offense to it, But now I'm understanding and accepting of those slip ups because I know it's not coming from a bad, disrespectful, hurtful place.
Yes,
I
that's right.
understand it's not intentional.
Right.
I understand that it's just so natural for them to see me as one person and then I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
completely changed into another person, and so they're still adapting to the person that I am and that I am becoming and that I am now. And so I'm not so quick to take offense. No. I'm not so quick to take defense.
Right.
No. I am very quick to take, forgiving, loving, mistakenly mistakeful approaches
Mm-hmm.
to accept the fact that they are trying and that they do not mean it to be intentionally mean and dismissive of my feelings.
Well, it sounds like you are very strong, and I love that about you, and that you're in a comfortable place and you're happy, But again, with your development and those things that are inspiring you to continue, being a speaker for this cause. I love that about you. So thank you. But let me ask you a question. What about, can you speak to those out there who maybe are coming from a place where it's initially in their minds or they're thinking it or it's happening to them? Can you be a resource for that group? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, yes, I can be a resource for any trans person, a trans experience that is going through their transition and need a little bit of help and guidance and
Mm-hmm.
want to, gain that acceptance of themselves because they aren't there yet. You
Right.
can find me on Facebook at Mahogany
Ooh, let me write
Fleeks.
this down, girl. Let me get a
You all can find me on
pen.
Instagram at Mahogany Fleeks. So it's MAHAWTGANY _Fleeks. And I can, be found in this video giving tips, and I can be a resourceful person, for my community members.
Well, with what Ms. Fleeks has called out, that information I'm going to place in the description box below this video, so you all can look down, and if you want to reach out to her, do. I'm sure that she would love that. So, Ms. Fleeks, I
Yes,
heard that you got a
absolutely.
motto. You got a motto. What's this motto,
Yes, so
girl?
I am a model queen. And so the motto that I live by now today that governs me through my life is simply love those who love you.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Well, I have to say, I loved meeting you and hearing your story. I love talking to you and you explaining to me, teaching me, growing me, or educating me into what's going on, that will help me learn about transgender people in general. So we want to say thank you. Thank you, Ms. Fleeks, for your testimony. Thank you, Ms. Fleeks, for taking the time to do this interview. If there's ever anything that you need, reach out to me. We're here at L Creations. This is my channel. So please subscribe. Ms. Fleeks, would you like to offer
Subscribe.
anything?
Yes, subscribe to Creations. Thank you so very much. I'm so grateful for being here and sharing my story and my experiences. You all subscribe for more content, and let us know what you want to see. Drop comments. Let people know, how this video affected you. How did it help you? How did it not help you? We want to know. So, let us know. And thank you so much, Elle, for having me. I love you and just appreciate you so much for allowing me to express my experiences and tell my story. And so,
You're
until
welcome.
next time, America.
Until
Okay.
next time.
Bye.
Peace. This is Elle. Thanks for watching.